Hello, welcome back to the Spider's Web, and in this video we're going to be painting our next vampire elder, who is Theyr. I think that's how it's pronounced. T-H-E-Y-R. You see, vampire elder, that's his card. And this is the mini. Now, before I start, I just want to say, yes, I have a cough. Yes, it is going to get in the way of this video. No, there is nothing I can do about it. Yes, I have been to the doctors. I'm only saying all this because at the end of one of my other videos, I got a message from somebody, rather nicely, you know, so not a concern. But I just want to make sure that everybody is aware when you start watching this video that I will be coughing. I have severe asthma, I have COPD, I have medication from the doctors, I'm taking it every day. As and when I should, and there's nothing I can do about it. It's just a case of having to put up with it. I've put off doing these videos for long enough. I just want to get back into painting. I'm hoping it's not going to spoil. I've moved my knife. I'm not hoping it's not going to spoil the videos too much, but I just need to get up and go and get my little scalpel because I've just noticed I've missed yet again some mould lines. I thought I'd get them all, but yeah, I miss them. Not be a second. Okay, I'm back. Right, so let's get on with this, shall we? I've also taken the opportunity to take one of my sprays before we start, so hopefully I won't be coughing as bad during this video. Yes, I do sound a little bit breathless, but one of those things, as I say, it's irritating. I get very breathless very easily, and it's not through lack of exercise or anything else. It's because of what I was saying earlier. Severe asthma, COPD, can't help it, so to deal with it. So there we are. Oh god, really helped me to this one. So yes, we're going to try and get this done, and looking at the mini itself, do you not think he looks like a certain children's cartoon character? I will show you the mini in a second. I just need to scrape that little bit off. There we are. Oh, do you not think? Well, I shall give you a clue how he's going to be painted. Yes. We're going to have a little bit of fun with this fella. All the others have been dark and grim and whatnot, but yeah, I want a bit of fun with this one because he's that kind of character. He looks as though his level of evil could be used as a humour, or sorry, looks as though his level of evil, you could be incorporating a little bit of humour. So that's what we're going to do. If you've not a clue who I'm talking about, you'll see at the end of the videos. Right, so first off, we are going to be painting his face, and for that we are going to be using Rakarth Flesh. So I don't want a very dark facial tone. What I do want to do first of all, I've got the wet palette, wet, not damp, so I just want to take some of the surface water off the palette paper. I've just been cleaning it off from the last thing I was doing, which was which you saw in the last videos. A week's gone by, just haven't had a chance to get any more painting done. This is the first chance I've had. But so we're going to carry on with Rakarth Flesh, because I want a greyish brownish colour. We're not looking at something too bright and too flesh-like. He's a vampire, supposed to be sort of like undead, or supposed to have died at one point in time to become a vampire. So I'm going to have a little bit of a slightly damp brush, the paint on the brush, and we'll run the paint down facial features. Now I'm not doing it exactly the way that the inspiration is shown, but hopefully when you see the finished product you will see who it's based on. Okay, I'm also going to do the body on this one because it looks as though it's not wearing anything, but the flesh tone is going to be slightly different on this because, as I say, I want it to tie in with the character from the cartoon series that I remember watching when I was younger. So as we go on, it would be nice to actually see if anybody susses out who it's going to be before I actually finish painting. You know, because as soon as I saw this menu, I thought there was a first thought out of my head, or in my head, who this was. So I'm just curious as to whether or not anybody actually twigs who it may be. So if you have sussed already, please leave a message in the comments. I'd love to hear how soon it was the character came into your head when you first saw it, and whether or not you hadn't seen it until I mentioned it. It's to me it was obvious, but though again saying that, I have been told that my sense of humour isn't like everybody else's, so it may not be as obvious to anybody else, but oh well. There we are. Almost finished. There's not much work to be done with these. They are, as you can probably tell, quite simple minis to paint. They're not the highly detailed works of art that you'd get, say, from other games. They are just, to me, they are just made as gaming pieces. They're not made as display minis. I mean, if the intention was for them to be display minis, I think there's a big failure on the part of the manufacturer. However, for gaming pieces, these are wonderful minis. But as I say, I wouldn't think of spending too long on them to put them, or to make them into display minis, because, as I said, I just don't think the detail is there enough to be able to do that. And I think if there were display minis, I think they would be a bit bigger as well, because you'd be able to get more detail in if they were bigger. But you can see there's not a great deal of detail in any of this, so that's why that's what's leading me to my theory about them. Next we're going in to the hood type thing and the sash there that he's got, and for that we are going to go with Alien Purple. I think, is this the one we tried last time and it didn't come out, or was that one of the brown? No, that was a khaki one. So I am going to give this a damned good shake, and I hope that it does actually come out as it should, and it has done. There we are. And get the brush in there, and now we'll just go along and paint. Oops, I've got some on the skin. At this stage it doesn't matter, to be honest. I can always, it's just the first coat of paint. When it comes down to the next step, which will be going over the skin again, we're going to have to be very careful when we do this stage that we don't go over the skin, because the one thing we don't want to do is spoil the skin areas, because they're going to be the major part of these minis. Well, this mini rather, not these minis. There's only one of them after all. So you'll bat on this purple. As I say, it's going on all of this and all of this. So I'm going to just speed up the camera. I'll speed up the video, and then you can see this a little bit quicker, just to save a little bit of time. Almost done. Just a few little touches here and there, just to cover up some of the grey primer that I used. As you can see, he's now looking hopefully a little more obvious who he's going to be. Probably not though. Now I'm not going to do the staff the same as the character I'm basing this on, because it's, as you can see, it's bones. It's like a rib cage, a few skulls, horns, pelvis there. So I'm not going to do it the same, because I don't think, if I remember rightly, the character had that kind of thing. So what I'm going to actually use for this is an off-white called Pallid Witch Flesh. I'm going to go over on the bone areas in this. Add some of this to the palette. You may or may not be able to see it properly, I don't know. It's very similar colour to the actual palette itself, so if you can't see it, don't worry. It's like a chewing gum white colour, if you know what I mean by that. If you go with the original, you know, the strips of chewing gum rather than the little capsules that they do now, if you go with them, you'll see the kind of colour I mean. The original flavour I'm talking about, you know, this Wrigley Spearmint gum, not other chewing gum brands are available these days, I think. But that's the one I'm referring to. It's that kind of colour that I'm talking about. I'm going to try and get all of this done as I can. As I say, I'm making a few changes to the character that I'm basing it on, because although the mini itself to me resembles that character, the staff doesn't resemble in any way, shape or form the staff that was in that the character I'm basing them on had. So I'm making a change. So here we are. It's not a big difference, but there we are. Trying to just make it a little more stand out, or making this mini stand out a little more, should I say, because he's an elder. I think he's one of the main bad guys, so I think he just deserves that little bit more, what's the word I'm looking for, a little bit more prominence when he's on the board. Oops. And I suppose a good way of doing that is to make him just stand out that much more. So painting all the bones, all the areas that we want bone in this, with this chewing gum white colour, powdered witch flesh, and then everywhere else we'll paint in a slightly different colour, or in this case a completely different colour. Now we're just going to try and avoid getting this too much on his skin tone. I did make a few smudges on the skin tone with the purple. I'm trying my best not to do it, but every now and again it happens. Don't beat yourself up. Always go over it again. So before, say it again. Painting in any way, shape or form is always just a process of making adjustments, and sometimes you do get your paint on the wrong place, and if you're using certain paints you can correct that, but usually when you're working with acrylics or oils or anything like that, you can always adjust any mistakes that you make. I avoid using the word corrections, because I don't believe that there's mistakes. There's nothing you need to correct, you just need to make an adjustment. So if you look at things that what you've done is not wrong, but it just needs a minor adjustment, you avoid the mindset of believing that you can't paint, because when you try to, you do it wrong. You don't do it wrong. You're just not making you've just not made the adjustments. Yeah. Right, so there we are. I'm now going to go back into the skin tone again and make those adjustments. So we need to make an adjustment here, because I got some of the purple on his chest, and also around his waist here. Okay, so there we are. That's that bit done. And I'm going to change brushes to a slightly smaller brush, just so I can get some of the detail in the purple sorted out. So I'm just dampen off a little bit, or dampen off the brush a little bit rather, and then we can go in and get the edge edge of the purple clothing. I'm using the word quite loosely. Filled in. And there we are. I'm using this brush once again for the highlighting stage. Yes, I do need a little bit around his arm. Just there. And there. Anything around his face? I don't think so. Doesn't like it. Yes, it does. And just quick touch here and there, just to make sure that it's all the areas that we want purple actually are purple. And there we are. And I think that really is it for that area. And now for the staff, usually I would do a wooden staff. I would do it as what you call it, like a dryad bark or a reddish brown colour. Not with this fella. With this fella, I'm actually going to do a grey staff, which is Administratum Grey. That's the one I'm using. Yes, it's a little bit pale. I am aware of this, but I don't want it too dark. So what I'm going to do is apply this grey with the original brush, and being careful as well not to go over the bone areas, but I will also need to get into there, which I'm going to use the smaller brush for. And that will hopefully give us a nice uniform grey colour. I'm going over, I know the primer is a grey, but I want to make sure that it's all covered and none of the actual plastic mini, or the plastic on the mini, is coming through and showing up. I want to make sure it's all paintwork, not that if I have missed a bit with the what you call it, if we have missed a bit with the primer, that's not going to show too much. Now I'm just going to, as I say, come in here with the grey and make sure on the staff, I cannot actually see a thumb here. I think it's pretty weird. I can't actually see where things go, but hopefully, also almost like it might be split. There's like a grip there. There we are. I'm also going to go over teeth with this grey as well, just for the sake of. There we are. Now that is basically the mini done. What I want to do now is give it a wash. Now I'm giving 3 washes on this. The flesh is going to get one colour, the purple clothing is going to get another colour, the whole of the staff is going to get the third colour. So the first colour we're going to be using is a Dreckenhoff Nightshade, and that is for the flesh. And I've just realised something, and I'm going to get a 4th colour. And you'll see in a bit why. all of the flesh is going to get the Drakenhof Nightshade. Except for the face. Now, does this give any more clues as the character that it's going to be? Or rather, not that it's going to be, but the character that I've based this paint scheme on. Where am I looking? I'm not going to be panicked now. I've got my little pot in front of me. There we are. And we're going to cover, as I say, all of the flesh in this colour except for the face. The face, we're going to give the face a different wash altogether. So, yeah, for this mini we've got like 4 washes. 4 different coloured washes. And I'm not applying a very thick wash. I'm dipping the paint into the pigment and then I'm scraping a lot of it off back into the bottle because I don't want it building up too much. I don't think I actually scraped off enough here. I think there's too much on the brush for this leg, but I'll just keep it going. If I do see it building up too much, I can take some off like I just did with that arm, and what do you call it? Apply it to the leg. I am concentrating, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to make sure that I don't go over areas that I don't want this colour. So if I do when I do concentrate, I have a tendency of going really quiet. I apologise about that, but yeah, it's I just want to make sure I'm not going over areas that I don't want to be this colour. Let me just get some actual wash on it, then I can move it around a little bit, because what I was using was quite dry. It doesn't seem to be going into the crevices at all. Okay, so that's that bit. Okay, the question now is, have you actually worked out who this is based on? Oh, I just got a weird sense of humour. I know I have. Hopefully you've sussed it, but if not, keep at it. Okay, so the face I'm going to do in Cassandora yellow. You say? Yes. Cassandora yellow. And I'm just going to have that all over the face, just like so. That's got to give you some idea now. You can't not know who that's supposed to be. Okay, so that's that. Next wash is being looked for as we speak, and I can't find it. Got it. Oh yeah, Drugeshire Violet is the one we're using for this. This surprisingly is going to go over all the purple areas, making it a much stronger purple, hopefully. I'll try and get that lid to stand up. And colour all this in purple. Well, all the purple areas are going to be purple. You may have noticed I've not didn't scrape that off then, because I actually want this to get down into crevices, and there wasn't a lot of the wash still remaining in the lid. So if I'm taking it from the tub or the pot, whatever you want to call it, I'll scrape a little bit off. If I'm taking it from the lid, I didn't, because, as I say, I wanted it more liquidy and able to get into the crevices. Oh yeah. But I'm also going to be keeping an eye on it, making sure that it doesn't build up too much. I want it to get darker, but I do not want it too dark. Or rather, I want it dark, but I don't want it in such a way where there's that much on it. It's not just making it dark, it's also hiding detail. That's one thing you've got to watch out for with washes. It's so easy for them to just clog up detail. Oh yeah. I'm also being careful about it around his face and flesh, because I don't want it bleeding in to those paler areas. I just want it on the purple. There we go. So there's 3 of the 4 washes that it's going to be getting for this one, and now the final one is all favourite Agrax Earthshade. So we'll give that a little bit of a shake, pop it open, and this will go on the staff. And I'm not really too what's the word I'm looking for? I'm not really too precise on where I put this now, because all of it is the staff except for part of the hand. So as long as you don't get it on the hand and the flesh area, you've got it in the right places. Simple as. I'm going to go a little bit deeper inside the ribs here, because they would be much darker. So I just want to make sure that there is a lot of, well, not a lot, but there is a build up of wash in there. And all we do is just go over the complete staff. And I think this is where I've caught some of the bone with the previous wash. And once we come to highlights, that won't show up. And I'm going to go over the grey as well with this, because it gives it an interesting colour. And all we have left to do is the base of this, or the bottom part of the staff. Not the base of the staff, it's just the lower part of the staff. The base is under there, which has already been done. So there we are, that's it for this part of the video. There's nothing much else I can do, to be honest with you, because I have to wait for the wash to dry. But once we come back, we'll get to highlighting, and then this mini will be finished as well. So let us know in the messages below, in the comment section below, who you think this is based on. Correct answers unfortunately won't win anything, but you just have a bit of fun, hopefully. So this is Theyr, the last of the vampire elders from the base set of Vampire Hunters. When we come back, you'll see him being finished, and then you'll see his what you call it, his little final twirl as he as the final bit of paint dries, which is usually on the base. So that's it for this video, as I say. Until next time, take care, God bless, and bye for now.